It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to inspire, our mission is to empower, and our mission is to provide you, the hard-working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we got the one and only Nicole Johnson, and she's in the building, and she'll be talking about wealthy women lifestyle. Can't wait to hear about this. What's going on, Nicole? How are you?
I'm good, Shay. How are you?
Good. Now, we're reading the topic here and we're hearing wealthy women lifestyle. Now, I'm just curious, before we just talk about women, why are folks today struggling to be, I don't know, financially secure, let's call it that, maybe have financial freedom, let's call it that, and then ultimately, why are everyone struggling to be wealthy? So I guess my question is, why are we still talking about money and finances these days?
I'm glad you asked. First of all, thank you for having me. It is important that we continue to educate our community because the struggle is a lot of people just don't know. It's as simple as that, lack of education. And it's not that the information isn't out there. Sometimes investing the time to gain the knowledge from the information is a struggle for people. One of the biggest things I have encountered is how do I change my mindset to do something differently from what I've been doing all my life? That's the struggle.
Mm. And when you say mindset, mindset means different things to different people. When you say mindset, what do you mean by that? Because it seems to me someone should be able to say, hey, I'm ready to get going. This is what I have to do. And I know it might be an unfair question, but why do they struggle with their mindset or struggle with their belief system so much as it relates to money?
Well, for women, the topic of money has always been taboo, right? It is something that, over the years, uh, Big Mama had to work behind the scenes to help make sure daddy looked good in front of the family. When women started becoming more of the head of household, not only are we struggling to gain equality in our pay, now we've got to shift from all of the other mom duties that we're doing and still sit down and learn about how to manage it well. A lot of us just get comfortable in our dysfunction. And so we just keep doing the things that make it work, not realizing that there's a better way to do things. And when someone like me comes along and says, hey, I need you to change how you think about dealing with your money, the first thing that they think is, I just don't have the time.
And how do people think about some of the folks you work with? How do they think about money these days? They think it's good, think it's bad?
They think it's good. Their problem is their own ability to handle it and do better. So,
Mm.
one of the first things that we talk about is where were your financial habits created? And when I look at that, that is usually the source of their financial trauma. And it tends to be what holds them back from making better decisions. And so, when we shift that, and I help them understand that they actually have to create a relationship with their money and learn how to treat it better. When I put it to them in those terms, then I start to see the light. They start to look at it differently and say, okay, so just like a relationship with a partner, if I treat it better, if I treat him better, if I treat her better, I'll get better results from the relationship that we have. And so shifting that mindset on how they deal with their money is the first step in getting them to see that if I want something done, if I want different results, I got to take different course of actions.
Now you mentioned in the topic, and ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, I'm gonna ask her to give you two or three ideas, and in a moment we'll peel the onion back. You'll find out who this person is. But it is wealthy women lifestyle.
Yeah.
Why lifestyle? Well, why has it become a lifestyle? Can you talk a little bit about that? That's a very powerful word that I saw listed as one of the topics. Of whoa, this isn't just about saving some money for tomorrow. This is
It's
about
not.
it becoming a lifestyle. Can you define why you're using lifestyle and what that means and looks like and why it's so near and dear to your heart?
Well, I was not living a wealthy women lifestyle at one point, and not really understanding that it had to be something that I did every day. It's almost like dieting. You don't just give up the bad foods and start eating more good foods until you lose the weight. You have to shift what you do on an everyday basis, be consistent with it so that you can have consistent results. And when you change and adopt a different mindset to develop the new lifestyle, it's a level of freedom that is words can't even describe how awesome it is. And then the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So when I talk to them about managing and then help them put the processes in place that make it easier, it now becomes a lifestyle because they do it more consistently. And then once they start seeing the results, they're like, oh, I love the way this looks. My bank account not only has savings, the savings balance has a comma in it. Nicole, I didn't know I could do that. And so now they're starting to see different results. They're feeling better because we're emotional about our money and our different circumstances. So that lifestyle has to be shown to them, and not just that they can attain it, but how they maintain it.
Contain it and maintain it. Folks that
Mhm.
want to know who in the LL Cool J is this woman that's talking right now. They like what they're hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. I'm going to ask for 2 or 3 ideas that you can use immediately. So it doesn't matter what level you are in your financial journey. Nicole Johnson will be able to help you with her wealthy women lifestyle approach. She'll be able to help you. But take a moment, if you would. They don't know who you are. There's some folks that have not read the bio. There's somebody's watching right now, and she or he is like, "Look, I worked all day, Shay. I got a 9 to 5, and I'm a nine, and I'm a full time entrepreneur, and I'm taking care of the kids, and I'm taking care of the wife, and I'm taking care of the husband, and I got other responsibilities. So I didn't read all this, but I like what I'm hearing. So take a moment, if you would, and tell them who are you, what's the backstory that led you to doing what you're doing now that you feel so passionate about. Please
Mhm.
tell us about yourself.
So, my name is Nicole Johnson. I was born and raised in the city of Chicago. Hey, 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 don't talk about my city. And I grew up on the West Side. I'm a girl from the project. My mom said she believed where you live did not define you. Okay. And every time you open your mouth, they didn't need to know that. But I tell people that part of my story because I want them to understand where you start does not define where you finish. Okay. And now when I got married at a young age, I had 2 children. Became a single mom after a few years in my divorce. And during that process, my finances were in turmoil. I married a partner that I was not equally yoked with, or we didn't agree on finances. So there was a lot of financial trauma for both of us. And once I got on the path of making corrections, it really began to open my eyes as to I know I want to serve my community. I want to be able to help women overcome different circumstances that found me in a upside down situation, not having a plan B, not knowing what to do when the divorce was final. Um, and being a single mom. I didn't get married and have kids to turn out to be a single mother. And so, what could I do? And it took me some time to figure it out. And then, after filing bankruptcy twice, not once, but twice, it was so good I had to do it a second time. I wanted to become a homeowner. In that quest to become a homeowner, I was rejected from banks, mortgage companies. I went to different seminars that were going to tell me, or at least they were supposed to tell me how to become a homeowner, but they didn't. They told me that I needed a good savings balance. They told me I needed good credit. They told me I needed a budget. And I was losing on all three of those platforms. But I stayed in those seminars so that I could hear the how. And that is the problem with a lot of processes. They will tell you what you need, they will not tell you how to accomplish the steps to be successful. So I sat down with my credit report, all 30 plus pages of it on the weekend, and I hammered out my first budget. I was 35 years old. I was 35. And I point that out because I want the audience to know it's never too late. And so, because I believe that it's not what people call me, it's what I'm going to answer to that is the most important thing. And I became determined in 2008 that I was going to be a homeowner. And I gave myself a year and a half to get it done. So I started in the spring of 2008, hammering out those processes, trimming my expenses, sitting down with my budget, explaining to my kids what we were going to accomplish and how we work together to buy this home. And on 9/9/2009, I became a first time homeowner. I got two programs to work together to help me, and it was an amazing process for me. So in 2010, I took to social media to share my experiences with other women. And that was the beginning of my entrepreneur journey, helping women achieve the goal of home ownership. It soon developed into really working on their mindset to develop a new relationship with their money. So even though we started out trying to become the homeowner, eventually I needed to move them from focusing on home ownership to budgeting to finances to now how do we invest and how do we build a lifestyle that goes way beyond just me as the mom or me as the daughter, sister, friend, and all those other hats that you name. How do I create a lifestyle for it and leave a legacy for my family?
Wow, incredible story. Thanks for being so transparent. Thanks for being so open. The good news is if you can do it, you're now sharing with other folks step by step how they can do it. And now they've
Yeah.
waited for this moment and said, Shay, 3 ideas. That's all I'm asking. Can she take a moment and share maybe 3 things that we can do that help us on our journey to be have a wealthy women lifestyle? Yes, she said it's a mindset. You got to have a wealthy women lifestyle mindset, but she's also teaching you the how. Isn't that so cool? So take a moment, if you would, give us 3 ideas. And ladies, it's loaded. I know y'all all different places, different
Yeah.
spaces. I get it out there, but you'll be able to adapt this and customize it for yourself. 3 ideas that you would share with folks that are listening now, please.
So, one, I tell everybody look at your list of expenses and write them down. Please write down your expenses and their due dates. When you start looking at when your bills are actually due and you have it in writing, it gives you an idea of how often you should be paying bills. So start looking at your expenses, write them down, and if you get paid once a month, you should only be paying bills once a month. If you get paid twice a month, that's how often you should be paying bills. We pay on pay dates, not due dates. So write down your expenses, look at the due dates, and start paying on pay dates, not due dates. One of the other things is trim expenses that you don't need. I don't know. I'll tell anybody. I've been without cable for more than 5 years. There are other ways to watch TV, free and low cost, free 99 and low cost. So write your expenses down, trim unnecessary expenses. And the third one, I'll tell anybody, you need to start paying into a savings account, preferably a high yield savings account, as if it were a bill. We every day we wake up and breathe, we got bills. Pay into your savings, because when you start consistently building your savings, no matter what happens, you're always going to have a cushion account so that you can have a plan B. Because one thing we know is life is going to happen, and you want to be prepared as much as possible by having money set aside to account for those life experiences. So yes.
I love it. Those life experiences. And it's a perfect segue to a segment we have here called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks that are listening, you know exactly what I'm going to do. You can go ahead and say those magical words. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you, by the way. And for all the new folks who are tuning in, you're watching for the very first time, let me welcome you over to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We're glad that you're here. Today is my January 1st is our personal mantra, by the way. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is, or how bright and sunny that past back there is, the past no longer equals the future. So my question for Nicole Johnson on the other side is, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? What do you hear? And number two, what was another setback you had in your life or business that you had to bounce back from?
So today being my January 1st, I take the time every year to create a vision board, write the vision and make it plain. I create this vision board and I separate boards out into five components. And so it is my strategic roadmap to what I want to accomplish for the year. I create a theme for the year. And for the past 4 years, manifestation has been my word, my theme. And I'm seeing the goals that I put on my vision board come to pass. So I'm going to keep rocking with manifestation throughout 2024. But what I do with that vision board is I create the goal, the end. Where do I want to be? How much money do I want to generate in my business? What are my travel plans? What are my plans about my health? Where's my relationship with God going? So I separate that into five different components and I put the end result. But the additional space within the boards is the where I create the roadmap and then I celebrate the little small wins along the year. Okay, so it's a work in progress from January 1st. So I want to see it all the way through to the end. And when I think about a major setback, I would have to honestly say my first major setback was my divorce. When I got married, I was determined to be a good wife, to be a good mother, and those were my two roles. Notice I said wife and mother, I never said a better me. And that was powerful for me when the marriage ended. And so, what I didn't have was a plan B. That was the worst feeling in the world, is to not have a plan B, to not know how I was going to take care of my kids, to not really understand what the future held, because the future that was on that vision board is not what sat in front of me that day. And it was hard. It was hard. I felt like a complete failure. I failed the marriage. I failed the kids. Notice I said I failed the marriage, I failed the kids. I never incorporated myself. And so that's once I began to heal from that and go through the process of releasing the anger and the frustration, I knew then that I would never be caught without a plan B. I don't care what it is in life, what goal I set on my vision board. When I think about the goal and the end where I want to end up, okay, what could happen? If these three things are possible. So if this happens, this is what I'm going to do. If this happens, this is what I'm going to do. And if this happens, this is what I'm going to do for every goal. I may not need them, but if I do, I have them. So it was at that point in my life I became the optimistic pessimist. I am going to always hope for the best, but I will always plan and prepare for the worst, so that no matter where the situation falls in any spectrum, I'm ready. Preparation is the key. And coming out of that divorce, that was the best lesson for me, is to always be prepared for the unexpected. And now today, my team looks at me and goes, man, we got more plan B's than we got the roadmap strategy. I said, I know. So guess what? No matter where we fall on the spectrum, we're going to get it done and we're going to be prepared for anything that comes along.
You know, thanks for being so open, so transparent. As you were speaking, I guess I was wondering, what do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days? You seem to be so excited. You seem to light up. What do you enjoy most about what you're doing?
One, the process that I see, the change that I see in the clients. When they really start to say, Nicole, my savings is on point, it's on fleet. Cynthia is one lady. She was in her 60s when she came to me, and well, late 50s, headed for retirement, had never saved in her life. We worked hard for 3 years. Cynthia retired debt free. So those end results like that. A client just a few months ago, her father passed away, And when he died, he left her the family home. But the only way for her to save it was to file bankruptcy. Never had done that, and this wasn't her debt. But she filed bankruptcy and they gave her a 5-year plan in chapter 13. I said, they don't know me like that. Let's go. And it took her 18 months to pay off $72,000 worth of debt. So when I hear those stories and I we celebrate the processes along the way, I constantly say, "Hey, what's your savings balance for this month?" Well, it was I saved this, but I stopped them every time. It's not about the but, it's about I saved. I saved. And when they start to see that, I can see a light in them. And that for me is the passion. That's the what keeps me going, because my goal is to not necessarily have influence, is to have impact. I want to be the change that I needed. And so when I hear those results, I it's what keeps me going.
Wow. Well, first of all, thanks for all that you're doing. Incredible. And I know you're changing so many lives. If we stay here all day, you have more to share with us. One of my favorite questions to ask when I have time, and we do have time, is what's one of the best pieces of advice that you've ever been given? And I'll frame it for the audience so they're fully aware you're not coming off of, the mountain with the 10 commandments or anything. But what's, of all the mentors you've had, of all the books you've read, so many videos that you've been watching over the years, if you had to say, this is one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given, what would it be and why?
Years ago, when my son was born, I had to take time off from work because he had a heart condition, and I didn't trust anybody to give him his medication like he needed it. So I went to work for Jackson Hewitt, and the lady who owned that specific entity had us answering the phone. Thank you for calling Jackson Hewitt. How fast do you want your money? I did not understand then that she had planted a seed. I don't even think she knew the seed that she planted, because the person's response determined who we transferred the call to. So if they wanted the super fast refund, they went to this person. If they had back taxes and they needed a paper file, they went to this person, so on and so forth. Today, when I look at so many people that are ready to give up, how fast do you want to see your results? So I encourage them, because it's what encouraged me. Nicole, you can't give up. Success moves at the speed of execution. That's what she taught me. She didn't phrase it like that, but that was the best piece of advice. As long as I keep moving and I don't give up on what I'm trying to accomplish and help my clients accomplish, we will get to the execution, we will get to the success. But for me personally, how fast do I want to see my goals come to fruition? That's how fast I'm going to keep moving.
I love it. What do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world, out helping women become wealthy?
Believe it or not, I'm really a homebody. The most you'll catch me doing on a Saturday morning without appointments is sitting in the bed watching cartoons.
What's your favorite cartoon? You can't leave us hanging. We all lean forward watching cartoons. What's one of the cartoons she likes to watch, Shay?
Believe it or not, I love the Roadrunner.
Are you
I
watching
love the
reruns of Roadrunner?
Roadrunner.
Let me find out. Now,
But
what do you
I
like so much
do.
about Roadrunner? I'm just curious.
So it's the coyote. It's the whole I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. When we get into the all the different things, the Roadrunner was constantly hitting that brick wall, hitting that rock. Okay, but success still came. It might have been slow, and then when you got the rabbit out there, all the different things that could have stopped someone, it didn't. Now, on other days, you'll find me outside. I'm new to my area. I've been here a couple of years. I haven't really explored the city, so this summer is my summer. I go to the farmers market pretty frequently, so I can get outside and enjoy the outside air. And so, about a year ago, I became single again. So we shall see.
Congratulations. It's out of hint, hint, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. My wife loves going to farmers market too. Okay, I love that. That's so cool.
So
Good first
yeah,
principle.
I love it. I think if I could have started my entrepreneurial journey sooner, I would have. But I believe God's timing is always perfect. So this has been an enjoyous journey for me, and I'm looking forward to being able to impact. One of the biggest things I want to see back in our community is Black Wall Street. I was a good and grown adult before I was even taught what Black Wall Street is and what it looks like. And so, if I want to see that change in my community, I believe I have to be that change. So, for the people that I serve, for the women that I assist and help them change that mindset to wealthy women lifestyle, that was what I needed when I sat in their shoes. And so, today it is my honor and privilege to be able to serve them so that I can help them get there. And then, once they're there, we start doing things to impact the community, like investing in real estate, buying shopping malls and community homes, and being able to contribute to organizations that help our children, so that they don't repeat the cycle that we have been in.
So well said. To come down the home stretch, a two-part question. Number one, what type of clients is your firm looking to work with these days, if any? And number two, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have right now?
Okay, so I'll answer the second question first.
Sure.
I do a lot of things on Facebook. So the community over there is currently called the GYMM, GYMM. And that's because, girl, your money matters. And that is the foundation of a wealthy women lifestyle, is that you have to understand that your money matters. So if you go to Facebook and search the GYMM, GYMM, that is where you'll find us. If it's easier, you can go over to the NicoleJohnson.com, and the link is also available there for you to join the community. Now, listen, when it comes to the clients that I'm looking to work with, I am absolutely not opposed to men joining our community because it creates conversations between men and women, to be able to move forward. We are expanding Wealthy Women Lifestyle. Our ideal customer or client to work with is in the corporate world. What I've learned is that corporations hire and they pay good salaries. We have clients who are either at a six-figure client, a six-figure income, or they're striving to reach a six-figure income, but they don't get taught the foundational information that they need when they're introduced to the salary. And so I would love to be able to work with corporate clients, so that I can help their employees understand, if you start investing at this age, this is how it'll benefit you along the way. If you start taking advantage of the company matching, the flexible spending account, the IRAs, whether it's a traditional or Roth, make sure that you're matching what the employer does. I would love to do that. And on the other side, I would also like to continue my work with women who are in the range where they're just trying to figure out how to do this. Nicole, how do I navigate the waters of wearing all the different hats, being the mom, the wife, the daughter, the sister, the aunt? Now I got to cook, clean, and then I got to sit down and do homework, doing all the things. But I need help getting there to a six-figure income. How do I do that? I want to continue to serve them as well. So I'm doing corporate as well as consumer, and we're looking to bring on clients on both sides.
Super amazing. Well, let me first say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Can't wait to have you back. Wealthy Women Lifestyle. Continue the good work.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, because without you, well, we don't have a show. So we appreciate every time you show up. Yeah, it's pretty cool to hit the like button, but hit the share button. Like, pay this message forward to someone else so they can become financially free, so they can have financial security. At the end of the day, they can become very wealthy and have more impact on the world for the things and the causes they really, really believe in. And I never get tired of sharing with you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as you're watching right now, that you are one game changer, right? You're a world changer. You're a serious person who's making a big difference in the world. You're amazing. You're awesome. And I believe today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, your best is still yet to come. They ain't seen it yet. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is Che Brown. It ain't changed. the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and we'll make some good things how we connect again next time. God bless, Nicole. We appreciate you.
Thank
Peace.
you.